Welcome to the party, pal. Your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos back with you once again. Today we're talking Viavision's IMPRINT Films line. This is a line I'm very, very excited about because they're releasing some of my fucking favorite movies ever that have not been on goddamn Blu-ray yet. Insane to me. Insane to me. They put out Mothman Prophecies. Oh, I love that movie so much. They put a Fire in the Sky. I love that. Anyway, there's a movie on here. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. One of the best Sam Raimi movies ever made. And I'm going to talk about that one. But I'm also going to be talking about a 70s horror classic that I just don't get. I just don't like it. And it might be shocking to you.
Back from the dead.
Okay, Mighty Ducks, let's kick it off with The Gift. This, in my opinion, is Sam Raimi's masterpiece. First reason to see The Gift, Katie Holmes' boobs.
What?
Katie Holmes is naked in this. Katie Holmes is naked in this.
Hey, that's pretty good.
Second reason to see it, it's an amazing movie. Written by Billy Bob Thornton, directed by Sam Raimi, featuring a ridiculous all-star cast. Mind-blowing all-star cast. The Gift is one to get. Let me show you the packaging real quick before we get into the plot and the special features. This release is no different from the rest of the imprint line here. You get this really lovely, fairly sturdy little slip box. You get the film like this in the case. Open it up, and there you are. No reversible, but there's a little art inside as well. I do love the slip box design. I think that's really cool. I hope they continue with that. I love that it's nice and glossy. I think it's just, I don't know. I really dig it. I dig the slip box design better than the slip cases now. Maybe the next iteration is that they close all the sides and you have to like pop it open. I don't know. Maybe that's too much. This is an excellent Southern Gothic psychic murder mystery written by Billy Bob Thornton and directed by Sam Raimi. This film features a ridiculous all-star cast where every actor is a well-known celebrity. Cate Blanchett, Keanu Reeves, Hilary Swank, and Katie Holmes' boobs lead the pack here in a really dark and layered film that is 100% worth your fucking time. Greg Kinnear's character is about to be married to Katie Holmes' character when she goes missing and her dead body shows up in Keanu Reeves' pond. Reeves here plays a wife-beater dirtbag, and honestly, while it's very different for him, it's his best performance, hands down, of all time. He is amazing in this, because let's be honest, he's not great. I love Keanu, but he's honestly not the best actor in the world, and here he's just awesome. As a matter of fact, every actor in here is kicking ass and firing on all cylinders, especially Giovanni Ribisi and Cate Blanchett. This is the first time I ever saw Cate Blanchett in a movie, by the way, so I think this was her introduction to Hollywood. I might be mistaken there, but it was for me. And she is especially magnetic in this movie. Now, while this is a Sam Raimi movie, I'm going to be honest with you, you wouldn't know that by watching it. It doesn't feel like a Sam Raimi movie whatsoever, which is a shame, but it does fit the tone of the movie. You wouldn't know that you're watching a movie by the same guy who did Drag Me to Hell, but the restrained hand makes sense when dealing with this really heavy material. Special features abound here, and my favorite piece is the audio commentary by friends of the channel, Nathaniel Thompson and Troy Howarth, who I'm very happy to find out are fans of the movie. You get an interview with the composer, Christopher Young. You get an inside look at the film, at the featurette. You get 3 behind-the-scenes production featurettes titled The Actors, director Sam Raimi, and a promotional short, as well as promotional interviews with Cate Blanchett, Keanu Reeves, Giovanni Ribisi, Sam Raimi, and world premiere footage, as well as theatrical trailers and TV spots and things like that. Next, let's talk Parallax View with Warren Beatty, directed by Alan J. Pakula. This is a great film. It's also been released on Criterion. I do own the Criterion disc, but the Criterion disc doesn't have this snazzy slipcover, which I'm going to show you right now. Same idea as the one from The Gift. Nice, sturdy, very glossy little case. Sturdier than normal, by the way, the normal slips. Here is the AMRA. You open it up like that. There's the disc. By the way, this comes from Australia. I forgot to mention, but region free. They are region free. So we can play it wherever. I watch this on my PS5. So play it wherever. Don't worry about regions. These are unfucking locked, which is interesting because Since Criterion put this one out, you would imagine this one would be locked, but it's not. I have the disc, but I haven't looked at the special features to find out if what has the most features. So I'm only going to be dealing with the events of this movie in terms of packaging, features, and all that good stuff. Parallax View is an engrossing and compelling conspiracy thriller, and honestly probably one of the best ones ever made. As a matter of fact, this is hands down my favorite Alan J. Pakula film. Warren Beatty plays a curious reporter who is investigating mysterious deaths that are linked to the assassination of a senator that happened 3 years ago. And in his investigations, he uncovers a secret ring of assassins run by the government itself. This is a surprisingly action-packed movie and the kind of stuff that grabs you from minute one. This is the kind of wild and twisty, turny ride that tosses you left and right, but don't expect a lot of answers with this one. Special features are amazing on this. You get 2 audio commentary tracks, one with Kevin Lyons and one with film critic Blake Howard. Then Kim Newman shows up to discuss the Parallax View and conspiracy thrillers in general, as well as Matthew Sweet on his own featurette discussing the Parallax View. Lastly, you get a video essay by Chris Neal called Witness to a Conspiracy, as well as theatrical trailers. While it's my least favorite subject in the world to talk about, we do have to address it because it is the main plot of this movie. This is Outrage, directed by the amazing Ida Lupino, the only female director for a time in Hollywood. She is amazing. Of course, you would know her from stuff like High Sierra. She was the girl who teamed up with Humphrey Bogart in that film. Amazing stuff. Anyway, Outrage is a really tricky movie. This is a pretty bleak-ass film. One that I can't necessarily say, go out and get it. This is a really fucking fun time. It's not very fun to watch, but I think it's a very important film. And honestly, I think that's the most important thing. Young working girl Anne, recently engaged, is brutally raped one night while leaving work. This is perhaps the earliest film to deal with women being raped and the repercussions of such an attack. This is a heavy fucking melodrama, and it isn't necessarily a fun movie to watch because it's so emotionally wrought, but it's an important film, excellently directed by Ida Lupino, who handles the emotional turmoil with a delicate hand. While it does sometimes tend to go a little overboard with the acting and the heavy melodramatics, it also feels consistent with the time period and the acting style of the day. The restoration here is immaculate with crisp blacks throughout, and the sound design for the film is excellent in its own right. While it's light on special features, you do get an audio commentary track with film critic Alexandra Heller-Nicholas. This stunner of a film also gets its glossy slipcase. There is the back. Try not to get the glare on that for you. Beautiful, beautiful little slipcase. Here is the inside of that. You get a little artwork there. A picture still from the movie. Obviously, it's an old black and white movie, so they're not going to show rape and nudity and violence. It kind of camera cuts away, but you know what happened and repercussions, abound. The movie's really all about the mental unhingement of a young woman after the events. So it deals with mental health. It deals with the criminal justice system. There's a lot going on in this movie. It's definitely worth a watch. It runs about an hour and 15 minutes. A pretty brisk watch. Not a pleasant one, but I think a rewarding film nonetheless. And I think historic because of the subject matter. So I do recommend it.
That's fucking interesting, man. That's fucking interesting.
Lastly, this might be a shocker for you, but for me, I knew I wasn't a big fan of this movie, but I wanted to give it a throw and revisit it. This is Let's Scare Jessica to Death, a 70s horror classic that a lot of people love. I know this movie has a lot of love, a lot of fans. I'm not one of them. This movie just does not do it for me, and I honestly don't get why it has any kind of cult following. A mentally unhinged young woman and her husband move to a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere, only to discover that a strange homeless girl is squatting there. They quickly become friends with her, but it's soon revealed that she may have direct ties to the farmhouse's weird history. What starts out like a potential ghost movie turns into a very strange vampire-zombie hybrid. I know there's a lot of love for this movie in the horror community, but I'm just not one of those lovers. I've tried. Believe me, I tried. This, to me, is just a very slow movie, and while it does pack a very creepy punch in the finale, the destination was not worth the journey. Not to mention the fact that the movie ends right when it's getting good. So to me, this just kind of all adds up to a pretty uneventful and disappointing film. To prove that this movie has a lot of love, it's got a ton of special features. Let's unpack it. You get 3 commentary tracks. One with director John Hancock and producer Bill Badolato, one with Kat Ellinger, and the third one with Kim Newman and director Prano Bailey Bond, who actually was the director of Censor. You get an interview with the composer, you get an interview with film historian Kim Newman, who calls this movie his favorite movie of all time. That's right, Let's Scare Jessica to Death is Kim Newman's favorite horror movie, and he waxes poetic on it. You get a locations tour then and now, theatrical trailers, and TV and radio spots. But like I said, I don't hate it, I just don't think it's anything special. It takes way too long to go anywhere. The whole first hour of the movie, you think it's some kind of haunted farmhouse movie, and then it turns into this weird Messiah of Evil zombie vampire thing that in and of itself isn't satisfying, because you don't really get any answers, you don't really get any blood and guts and like really creepy stuff happening. A couple of creepy things toward the end, but I just feel like there's not enough here to pack a punch or to really leave a lasting impression, at least not to me. It is the same glossy case. Here's the artwork on the back there with the special features. I love these cases very much. By the way, if you have those plastic slip holder protectors that we use for the Vinegar Syndrome slips, those fit in there perfectly. So you can protect that like that. There's a disc, there's the inside. Beautiful little still there. It's a very slow pastoral horror movie, almost like an early A24 type film. Not one of my favorites, but if it's yours, there you go.
Oh my.
That's how we do, Bugaboo. That's it. 4 titles from the Imprint line. Thanks to Viavision for sending these my way for review. My number one recommendation, The Gift. Find a way to watch that movie no matter fucking what. You need to see that movie. The one that I would stay away from, personally, it would be Let's Scare Jessica to Death. I just don't think it works. But if you can find it streaming somewhere, check it out. You might dig it. You know, everybody's taste is subjective. Let's call it a day, my friend. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. I love you very much. If you're new here, do consider subscribing. That means you and I get to hang out again, and I would love for that to happen. My friend, take care of yourself. Leave a thumbs up on your way out the door. This has been your friendly neighborhood master, Chaos, signing off for now.